Well, good afternoon, everybody. Oh, man, I got a little resonance here. But good afternoon, everyone. I am Robert Lee, and this is MacNSeitz 14U. You're joining us on YouTube or Twitter. I appreciate you guys doing that if you're not able to be here at the ballpark cheering our athletes on. We today are playing in the Midwest Global State Championship Tournament. This is the lower bracket in Bracket Play Sunday, and so, of course, Sunday, that means bracket play. This will be our first bracket play game facing the Inside Edge Barbee. We faced them last week, if you guys will remember. They got up quick, 4-0, and MacNSeitz was able to battle back and pull away with that one, but a close game nonetheless, and I imagine we may get a little bit more that competition here today. I have to imagine we didn't see their best pitching on that specific day. There's so much strategy with pitching and what you can do on bracket play. I know, once again, we may not have seen their best, and I think maybe they didn't see our best as well. So it should be an interesting matchup here today. What I will say is the game right before ours was Prodigy versus the Redbirds. Prodigy battling back and coming away with a win there late and then holding on. And so they advanced to that next round. And so they will play the winner of this game. Once again, that is in the Midwest Global State Championship Tournament, and that'll be in bracket play. Going over our starting lineup today, we have Colston Colquitt, Tucker Lee, Paxton Crowther, Hudson Woods, Parker Simons, Mason Gellender, Isaac Dixon, Bryson Spear, Cooper McGowan, and rounding out the lineup is Alex Wingrove. I apologize, folks, just a couple small distractions here. I was able to get the lineup for the Inside Edge, and so I'll go ahead and you can see right there, folks, that the coaches' meeting's transpiring right there in front of us, right at home plate. But the lineup today for that Inside Edge is going to be number 10, Haas, followed by Barbee, Schmidt, Copland, looks like Omer, Ford, Relston, Ryson, Terrace, Hartz, Colser, and Rechart. Man, this I'm doing the best I can with these, and so guys, if I do say that name wrong and you are joining us, go ahead and drop a comment. Do my best. These are obviously thrown together here pretty quickly, typically at the field, and so I'm looking at handwritten stuff and doing my best that I can with all that. But looking definitely very forward to it. In that original matchup, Wingrove. Or it wasn't Wingrove, I'm sorry. My goodness, I'm messing things up. Rounding out our lineup is Sebastian Wingrove, not Kilman. And so waiting in reserve is going to be Kilman, Warren, and Block. But Kilman pitched a complete game against Inside Edge this past weekend, and I tell you what, he put up a good number. He had 4 strikeouts. I think he allowed 8 hits, but from a run production standpoint, everything he was able to hold in. The defense did well behind him, and most importantly, we had some run production. And so if you guys joined us on Friday night, we had a doubleheader, a lot of on-again, off-again kind of thing with rain delays, lightning delays, all that good stuff. And guys just seemed a little bit flat, and so we did not have some of that run production that we really enjoyed in the prior weekend. And so going 0-2 in pool play, and we end up earning a 10 seed. And so obviously not what we want to see, but what we do know is that the boys are definitely capable of doing so much better, and we're hoping that comes out again here today. Weather-wise, definitely warm. Not as warm as maybe I thought it would be. I thought the humidity was going to kind of be off the charts, but we've got a nice steady breeze going, and that's keeping it just cool enough if you're in the shade. Imagine those boys are going to be a little on the warm side. And looks like we are getting ready to start play. So we earned that 10 seed. Inside Edge earning a 7 seed. They went 0-1-1, and so they lost one, but they also tied one. And so they earned that 7 seed, and they with that they earned the home billing. Leading off for MacNSeitz, number 2 Colston Colquitt. I tell you what, bat's been really hot, and hoping that he's going to keep that going for us. Starting off 2-0, and that is number 12 up there on the bump for Inside Edge. That's Copland. Let's maybe go ahead and adjust that to Copeland. But Copeland throwing some gas right now. Coming in 76 miles an hour. That's about the top that we've seen this season. So good kinetic chain, and maybe a little shaky there to start, but not uncommon with pitchers. And I tell you what, he's dealing with a doggone pitching mound that is just kind of ridiculous for this age bracket. It's almost like pitching off a flat ground. So Colquitt earns a quick leadoff walk, and that gives MacNSeitz an opportunity here with nobody down. Going to bring up number 27, Tucker Lee. Starts off with a strike call. Colquitt, I tell you what, he's got some good top line speed. Maybe not the quickest jump in the books, but once he gets that motor going, he can wreak some havoc on the base paths. No go so far, and now a 1-1 count. So as I expected, we had not seen Copeland here in that pass game, and this is what you often see is they come bracket play. Oftentimes you'll see either the best pitcher pitching up early, or they'll try to save him for a championship unless they get in trouble. And so I can't tell you if Copeland is their best pitcher, but he's certainly starting out here with some good velocity. Gives away one for Colquitt, who's now standing over there on first. So 2-2 count to Lee, and he has not swung that lumber just yet. Fouls that one. And timing was just right on. Got that barrel just, the plane on the barrel is just a little bit narrow, and so fouls that one off left side. So 5-pitch AB right here, and that's something I like to see for, all of our batters. And he takes a ball right there, so now a 6-pitch at bat, and Lee's going to have an opportunity for another one right here. The deeper that you can get into those counts, oftentimes what you'll see is you're going to get a better ball to hit. And Lee calls a quick timeout, takes a couple practice swings here, and he'll step back into the box, ready to go. Copeland, of course, working from the stretch. And Colquitt with no real concern or movement over there at first. Oh, this one's off the end of the bat. It might be trouble. And a nice play for Inside Edge. Shortstop takes a one-hopper, barehands it, and makes that throw out, but Lee does advance Colquitt over to second. So that'll be one down for MacNSeitz. And Lee, surprisingly, out ahead on that pitch a little bit. But that's going to bring up number 21, Paxton Crowther. So a couple lefties up here back-to-back. Have to go through our lineup here, but I want to say that we've got three lefties and one switch hitter in the lineup, so kind of a good little advantage from a batting standpoint, giving these pitchers quite a little bit of a different look from time to time. And Copeland continuing to struggle a little bit trying to find that zone consistently. Goes 2-0 against Crowther here early. Oh, that one just above the letters, called for a strike. Don't know if you can see it in the cameras there, but we're right on the flight line to KCI, or MCI rather. Swing and a miss for Crowther. And so I get to see some planes kind of coming in for landing here and there. But Colquitt, of course, on second base here. Let me update that scoring overlay for you. But Crowther with a good AB so far. So, two batters, two full counts in a row. Let's see if Crowther can win this one. Oh, and a strike three call. That was MacNSeitz' Achilles heel on Friday night. And so we had 6 batters go down on strikes looking. And that's just one of those things where it's just you got to try to get the bat on the ball. You got to swing away somehow, get that ball in play, give your guy a chance. But that's number 22, Hudson Woods at the plate. Takes his first pitch way up high for ball 1. So Copeland with a really nice looking mechanics and everything. Good hinge. Small delay prior to bringing that lead foot forward. Really makes for a nice looking hinge, and he's well under control. So no active scoreboard for us here today. And the umpire not calling out the pitch count. Big swing and a miss right there. Woods doing Copeland a little bit of a favor right there, chasing that one up high. This one fouled out of play right side. And Colquitt will have to return over to second base. So personally for me, it's always one of those frustrating things. You get a leadoff runner on base, and you like to see, some movement and trying to get him around the base paths into scoring position. Swing and a miss, but that's going to be a drop third strike, and Hudson Woods will reach on air. So a little piece of luck for MacNSeitz right there. That'll put runners on the corners. And Copeland, you got to imagine, is a little frustrated with that one. A lot of movement on that last pitch, and hard to blame catch for that one. So it looks like MacNSeitz will do a courtesy runner for Woods out there on first base. Last out was Paxton Crowther, so he'll be the one replacing him out. That brings up number 27, Parker Simons. So MacNSeitz fans calling for a balk right there. Felt like he stepped off with the wrong foot, but not followed up with the umpiring staff. A balk, of course, in that particular instance would have scored a run as all runners advance one base. Runners on the corners right now, and Simons with an RBI opportunity. So Crowther not a speedster over there on first. It'll be interesting to see if we challenge at all the catcher. I'd like to see us get a little more aggressive right there. Simons fouls that one right off the inside of the hands. Got to imagine that one stung a bit. Simons, if you'll remember, in one of the pool play games on Friday night, during a warm-out, made a warm-up during a throw over to first from third. Did something to his arm, right in the elbow, and he had to come out of the game, missed the remainder of that game, of course. And good to see him back here in the lineup and ready to go. Runner goes. No throw down, and he'll be up uncontested. And that's kind of what I mean. We wait till and now a full count on Simons. I would have liked to seen that happen much earlier. Just kind of get away from that force out had Simons put something in play prior to that. This one in play over to shortstop. And that's going to be out number 3. Well, that'll do it for us in the top of the half. In the top half of the first inning, MacNSeitz leaving 2 stranded. And that was kind of the name of the game Friday night. That was the name of the game Friday night. Get a number of runners on and just not getting anybody across the plate. Certainly understand Colquitt not a really strong on the first step from a stealing standpoint, but does have a pretty good motor once he gets going. Would have liked to see maybe we kind of test that a little bit, test the catcher. Every catcher at this age bracket is a little bit different. You got some guys that are just absolute studs with huge cannons, and other guys that are just trying to get some extra innings, and it's kind of catching by committee. And I would like to see us test that catch out just a little bit. Kind of smaller on the stature side, and that doesn't always have anything to do with the strength of the arm. But had we been able to do that and then Lee put that ball in play, he moved and advanced the runner, he would have been over at third. And that would have been a very different game right there. Then maybe you bunt and try to get at least 1 run out of that first inning. So a lot of different strategy, and certainly that strategy changes as you get older. Tend to see at younger age brackets a lot more situations where it's just swing away and, hey, let's go play some ball. And then as you get older and you start getting into, the 60, 90 base paths and pitching distance, and you start to see, what some folks will refer to as real baseball. And real baseball, oftentimes, just 1 or 2 runs can certainly be the difference in any game. Well, starting out for MacNSeitz, that's going to be number 22 out there on the bump, Hudson Woods. He's warming up from the stretch. And he's a good velocity guy for our MacNSeitz team. We'll see him oftentimes sitting somewhere in that 74, 75 range on his fastball. At times has struggled a little bit with some of his command. And you see that pretty often in pitching as these guys grow and continue to develop. Their bodies are always changing, and so some of their mechanics are always having to be updated as well. But you look at just the sheer overall athleticism, and Hudson Woods kind of fits the definition of that for sure. So he'll start off from the windup, and leading off for inside edge is Haas. He puts the bat on the ball right away, but it's out of play right side. So two pitches and 2 fouls. Now an 0-2 count to Haas. He's down here early. Be interested to see if Wood sticks with the fastball here and tries to change things up. I wouldn't like to see him go to that change up right here. I'd like to see him challenge with the fastball. He does so, but misses just outside. Now 1-2 count. Fouls that one back out of play, and Haas is swinging away early. Do recall from last weekend playing inside edge, they were definitely swinging away. And a great AB for Haas right there. Still a 1-2 count, but we're now 5 pitches in. Gotta say, Woods looks pretty relaxed. And he goes to that curveball, and Haas rips that one right up the middle for a single. So once again, where where he's struggling to get on time with the ball. You don't really want to see a pitcher go back to a changeup or a curveball of any kind. That speeds the batter's bat up and makes them a little bit more competitive. So once again, this is now batter number 2. This is number 17, Barbee, and he fouls that first one back. So again, inside edge up here swinging and hacking away early. But if they're behind on the ball, man, just throw the heater. Woods does a good job over there trying to keep that runner on first honest. And that one misses outside. Now 1-1 count. Very modest lead over there at first. And if I recall right, and I could be wrong here, folks, you might leave a comment if you recall, but I felt like inside edge was pretty aggressive base running wise. But not challenging anything here early. So Woods now with a 3-1 count on Barbee. And that one, oh, misses. So a single up the middle and then a walk. First 2 batters reach base, now on first and second. That'll bring up number 29, Schmidt. Woods misses again low right there. I will say, like a lot of youth pitchers, Woods kind of subject to it, and I see it quite a bit with my son as well. When you have some early success, it's easy to build a lot of confidence and continue to kind of really dial it in and stuff like that. But they can tend to be a little bit shaky early. Wild pitch right there. That one bangs off the backstop and all the way back to Woods out there in front of the pitching mound. So Schmidt showing a little bit more patience than the first 2 up to bat who were out there swinging away, and maybe it's just because Woods has not been in the zone. Oh, 4 pitches, 4 balls, and that's going to load the bases. Got to say, I thought one of those was possibly a strike, but you're never going to get every single call. Woods, I still feel like looks relaxed. Doesn't look uptight just yet. Bangs that one down in the dirt. And we might need to get someone out there to talk to him, kind of settle him down just a bit. As everyone that typically is joining us understands that bracket play is a win to stay type of situation. And so MacNSeitz needing that win to continue and advance on. And a nice looking. Challenges right again, same spot, blows it just by him. So once again, folks, do not speed up his bat. Just continue to blow it by him. And he does so right there. Foul tip, but catch holds on for it, and that'll be out number 1. Great to see Woods kind of get in there and just, 3 right in a row, man. Just like lasers right down that strike zone. Hard hit ball right up the middle. This just over the shortstop's head. 1 run comes across, 2nd run coming, 3rd run coming in. There's going to be no play at the plate. And he clears the bases right there with the sole exception of himself, and that'll put inside edge up 3-0. Did not even get a chance to call out that young man's name. The at-bat went so quick. But Woods throwing some strikes right there. So this is number 14, Ford, up at the plate for inside edge. So that was Omer with a nice piece of hitting right there. Felt like MacNSeitz could have done a little bit better job getting to that ball, but it was hard hit. I did not see the exit velocity on it. And Woods starting to look a little more sharp. There you go right there, kid. Strikeout number 2. And that's going to bring up number 41. Looks like Ralston. Oh, hit by pitch right there. And he'll make his way down to first base. So that puts runners on the corners, but MacNSeitz with 2 down and looking to stop the bleeding right here. 3 runs now on the board. And just looking for 1 more out. That's going to bring up number 4, Ryson. Runner goes. No throw down. He'll be up uncontested. That pitch was a ball. And missing just outside. And 1 right down the pipe for strike 1. So you'll see over there at third base, Simon's playing even with the bag. Middle infield playing deep. Oh, and that one comes out of the hand just wrong. That's going to be ball number 4 to once again load the bases. So it looked to me like Woods was trying to communicate to Coach Baker, like, hey, man, look at this baseball. It's a piece of junk. And you will see that when they get hit up on, especially off this chain link, that can put some different grooves and change some of the threads a little bit of fraying, and that'll change some of the movement on the ball. But Baker's out there just getting him to calm down. Got to tell you, Woods' arm looking fresh. Does not look tired or gassed or anything of that nature, as you wouldn't imagine here in the first inning. So Coach Baker all done with that conversation, talking to his infield. And probably just getting his pitcher to kind of settle down. Let's see how Woods responds right here. And that's ball 1. That's number 1, Ferris, for inside edge. Pop up. And Hudson Woods calling for it. That's going to be out number 3. So situation right there. Hudson Woods coming up with that pop-up and getting us out of the inning. I'll tell you from a baseball standpoint, I don't like seeing the pitcher go after those pop-ups. That certainly should have been Parker Simons' ball right there. And good reason for that, especially with a runner on. You saw Hudson Woods kind of getting into the base paths on the and I tell you what, as you get into older baseball, you're going to see those runners, man, feeling like they own that base path. And he could have easily bumped into Woods, and Woods would have missed that catch, and we wouldn't have had any type of interference call right there. And with your third baseman coming in, that doesn't have that. So quick audio break here in between innings. Appreciate you guys joining us out here once again on Facebook, or not Facebook, but YouTube and Twitter. Beautiful day for some ball, and see if our MacNSeitz boys can't come up with a little something here in bottom or top of the second. All right, just waiting on the base umpire right there. Now at the plate, number 5, Mason Gellender. And so, notably, inside edge sticks with Copeland. Out there on the bump. Strong first inning. MacNSeitz leaving 2 stranded in the top of the first. And now 1-1 count to Gellender. I have noticed that's been somewhat of the Achilles heel for some of our MacNSeitz batters is, looking at these ever-changing strike zones that you'll see in baseball. But some umpires tend to have a little bit of an extended strike zone out there beyond the beyond home plate. And so, if not, got to imagine there'd be a ton of walks. Gellender goes down on swings right there. And inside edge will throw that one around the horn. That brings up number 7-9, Isaac Dixon. And Copeland hits that same spot right there. Fly ball, center field. And he catches that can of corn for out number 2. So inside edge working quickly here in top of the second. 2 up, 2 down, and that's going to bring up number 3, Bryson Spear. Bryson Spear notably had a pretty good day at the plate against inside edge in our last game, going 3 for 3. And seeing if we can continue some of that good hitting right here. Swing and a miss, well behind on that one. Fastball coming in, 73 miles an hour. Got to tell you, folks, we took the Sebastian Wingrove and Tucker Lee up to the cages prior to coming out here today. And we hopped in the 80 cage feeling like, gosh, if there's anybody throwing slower than that, should be in good shape. Spear gets down quickly, 0-2. Oh, and he gets him on a nasty-looking curveball. 3 up, 3 down for MacNSeitz. And that is quick work. Folks, didn't mention it earlier, but we are actually playing in the same tournament. If you joined us on Friday night, you saw us playing at the Capital Federal Sports Complex of Liberty. Beautiful turf fields, and obviously you can see here on your screen, we playing on dirt today. We're out here at the Tiffany Hills Sports Complex. So just a short 20-minute drive from the Capital Federal Sports Complex. But when you get a lot of teams, a lot of age brackets and whatnot, sometimes you need just more than the fields that are available. And that's the reason for the venue change. Short audio break as our MacNSeitz boys take the field and get their warm-up in here for bottom of the second. All right, that is going to be number 8, Hearts, for inside edge, leading off. MacNSeitz, of course, sticking with Hudson Woods out there on the bump. And starts off with the ball right there down in the dirt. Tell you what, the picture, obviously playing on dirt, not nearly as nice as when this ball put into play right side. And Paxton Crowther with a nice catch. Sorry, folks, didn't get that camera switched over for you quick enough. But just one right off the end of the bat, and for Hearts, and Crowther's able to scoop that before it hits the ground. So fastball right down the pipe. And so this is number 11 for inside edge, Coulter. Hoping Wood sticks with the fastball here. He does not. Ball in play. This one over to short or third, and that is good for out number 2. So certainly nothing wrong with getting a little ground ball out there for out number 2, but my goodness. I'm thinking Woods could have blown one by him there. But outs are what we're going for nonetheless, and that's what we got right there. This one could be playable. And Crowther not able to track that one down. Getting a little bit of a hard time from the right fielder Lee out there, asking why he didn't jump over the fence. Good to see the boys playing not loose, but enjoying themselves. Nice piece of hitting right there. That one will be right side. Oh, my goodness. And so the right fielder trying to scoop that one up and get a quick throw over to first. With an errant throw over there. And then the catch not coming up with the backup. That puts a runner on. And notably making his way over to second base. Dixon somehow gloves that one with his head turned back. Oh, pick off. Got him. Man, oh man, I hope you guys could see that in the top end of your screen right there. Fantastic. Runner was rather going to his right towards third, and Hudson Woods doing a great job picking him off. So MacNSeitz making quick work of inside edge in that particular inning. That'll take us to top of the third. MacNSeitz still down 3-0. Needing to come up with some run production right here. Leading off for us this inning is going to be Cooper McCown, followed by Seabass, Wingrove. You know, I was talking to old Seabass and Tucker Lee about Alex Kilman. A couple of these guys got some interesting nicknames, I tell you what. So Sebastian Wingrove, Sebastian Seabass, just kind of shortening up that name. Kind of makes a lot of sense on that nickname. But so many of these guys coming up with other nicknames that have absolutely nothing to do with their name. And I'll have to see if I can't come up with what Alex Kilman's nickname was here a little bit later in the broadcast. Short audio break as Inside Edge continues their warm-ups. All right, and as I just mentioned a moment ago, that's Cooper McCown leading off for MacNSeitz in this inning. Well behind on that one, 0-2 count. I think he may have helped Copeland out. I think that one was a little bit high, somewhat outside. Fouls that one off. That'll earn him at least one more pitch to look at. So talking with some of the players on the team earlier, Cooper is a switch hitter. I think he is a natural lefty. And Copeland throws a breaking ball that never did break right there. McCown now working with the 2-2 count. Blows that one by him. McCown down swinging. Got to tell you, folks, it's a beautiful day for baseball right here. Just enough of a breeze not to be annoyingly to get all that dust up into your eyeballs, but keep that heat off you. Situated here in the Tiffany Springs area, just north of the Kansas City Metro. Just a few hundred feet away here from the Tiffany Springs Aquatic Center. Ball in play, this one over to third. That gets by him, and Wingrove gets on base. Nice to see him swinging away, putting that ball in play. Rolled over on that one just a bit, but I tell you what, those choppers on that left side can be hard to handle. And Wingrove legged that one out, and it gets by the third baseman anyhow. That takes us back to the top of our lineup. And Colson Colquitt takes that first pitch for ball number one. So Copeland continuing to look sharp here, now 1-1 count. And check swing. Oh, Colson Colquitt goes down. I was behind on the count, folks. So that'll be 2 down. Seabass on first. And that brings up 2-7 Tucker Lee. Pops this one up, and it'll get out of play. Step out. All right, lead now down 0-1. Takes one up high. No action out there at first base, and MacNSeitz yet to challenge the inside edge catcher. Tell you what, that's something I know. Seabass probably not one of the fastest guys on the team, but not slow by any means. And I feel like most of the guys on the up and down the lineup are pretty athletic. Lee fouls another one back, and just trying to get that one caught back up. That fastball coming in 74 miles an hour. Lee been hitting pretty well here in the past couple of tournaments. See if he can't get a little late life and a 2-inning rally going here. Curveball up high. Now 2-2 count. Copeland with some good action on his curveball. That one I think he might have released just a bit early. And he gets him looking on a fastball. So for the second inning, MacNSeitz strands runners on base, and Inside Edge continues to enjoy a 3-0 lead. I'll go on a short audio break here, folks, and thank you for joining us. If you are watching, leave a comment, maybe give us a little like on our video. It certainly helps with some of our analytics and helps with some of our sponsorships as well. Thanks again so much. All right, folks, getting back here just a bit late. I don't have a production assistant with me today. And for any of those of you that have seen my setup, that is a complete joke because I am a one-man band. So I'll be behind in the pitch count here. We'll catch up as soon as I see the umpire call out the count. Woods with that last one down in the dirt. Had a couple folks come over from the Prodigy team. This one right back to Woods, and he scoops that one up for out number one. That was number 10, Haas, for Inside Edge, and so they led off this inning at the top of their lineup. Now number 17, Barbee, at the plate. Ball outside. But had a couple members from the Prodigy team come over and just chatting about their game. Old Cade Pearson coming up with a couple of big singles with some important RBIs. That one down in the dirt. Always fun to see guys that you've played with in the past. And so my son Tucker played with Cade over at Prodigy. And always good to see those guys doing well. Baseball community is so small. And it's amazing how over the years you'll come across the same families, same teams, and things like that. And some families changing different teams. So always fun looking at that baseball community and being able to visit with folks. See kids out here still enjoying the game and doing great. So courtesy runner out there for number 17, that is Barbee. I believe Barbee is the starting catcher for Inside Edge. Runner goes. And that throw, not even close. You know, and things like that where the runner gets such a great jump and things like that, it's one of those things where I think, you know, you want to throw the ball down because you don't want to give the impression that guys can just steal whenever they want. But also, you know, risking potential outs, those are the things that you really don't want to do. But nevertheless, Inside Edge up there at second base now. And another one down in the dirt. That gets away from Dixon rather. And inside edge is able to make their way quickly all the way around the bases over to third base now. I will say I feel like that's kind of been a consistent problem here is, you know, if we end up with a walk, those runners getting around the bases relatively quickly. Oh, strike three call, and a beautiful looking curveball for Woods right there. That takes down number 29. Was it 29? Yes, 29 Schmidt. So MacNSeitz with 2 down now, looking to get out of this inning without any damage. As Woods blows one by number 12 Copeland. Copeland, the starting pitcher for inside edge, holding MacNSeitz scoreless so far, so doing a good job on the bump. I believe he had a walk on his first at-bat, and then it was Omer who followed up with that triple. So Woods always looking a little bit more comfortable working from the windup as opposed to the stretch. Some good action on that curveball there, but it was down, and that'll be ball number 2. So now a 2-2 count. And I tell you what, that pitching mound out there is so doggone small, I don't even know how Woods is pitching from the windup. I don't think I would probably even bother. I mean, this is almost like pitching from flat ground, folks. I know it may be hard to see out there on your screen, but my goodness. And that ball is going to be ball 4. Gets away from Dixon, but inside edge, being patient on the base pass. I can see that third base coach over there talking to the runner about his secondary lead. So inside edge with the courtesy runner for Copeland. Their pitcher a record. Runner goes. And why wouldn't they? Because Woods was pitching from the windup. So I don't know if that was on purpose or what, but I don't like giving up bases just willy-nilly. But a nice looking fastball right there. And that'll be a 1-1 count now for 22. That's Omer. So Omer pounded one out there. This pops up. Boy's going for it. That one out of play, and I think there's some joking back and forth between the fans. Ooh, missing just outside. I thought he had him right there. And that one buzzing the old backstop camera. So good AB for Omer right here. 5 pitches, still a 2-2 count. It'll be interesting if Woods can get out of this one. If that lack of that secondary lead out there at third. Oh my goodness, my goodness. I couldn't. I didn't know if I was going to say oh my goodness or oh my gosh, but whatever the case is, that ball coming in about a foot behind the batter. So Woods pulling out his best Bull Durham impression. Let's see if he can Luke Nanoosh him. Oh my gosh, and another one. Woods shakes his hands. Shaking his hand, and there's another walk to lead the bases. So MacNSeitz not doing themselves any favors here with a number of walks here in bottom of the third. Woods at times has looked sharp, but has been fairly inconsistent. And Inside Edge, who was really hacking away early, has been a little bit more patient during their at-bats. This is number 14, Ford, at the plate. And a pass ball. And a run does score. So Inside Edge, coach doing a good job talking about that secondary lead for Haas, and he gets that secondary right there, and that pass ball gets by Dixon, caroms off the backstop, and then rolls away. So now 4-0 in favor of Inside Edge. And very interesting, this is the score when MacNSeitz came back with a 6-run inning against them just last weekend to go up. Don't know if we'll be able to repeat history here or not. And a nice looking hit right there, right up the middle. Good line drive, and that's going to score 2 runs. Play over at second base. Oh. Second baseman doesn't come up with a throw, but it was actually a good throw by Dixon. So a 2 RBI single. Throw coming home, and the runner is able to make his way over to second base. Well, that's 6-0 right now. Simon's coming off the bag over there at third, thankfully. Moving his feet because that throw was well off the mark. Well, this certainly has been kind of the MO for MacNSeitz here this weekend. Just not playing as sharp as they did in the weekend prior when we made it to the championship game. And Woods continuing to shake that right hand, and he continues to complain about the baseball. But he gets a new one there. Let's see if that'll reset him. Needing just one more out to get out of this inning. Foul tip there for Ralston. Tell you what, he's got one heck of a knee brace there on his left leg. Still looking athletic, though. And a nice hit right there. That's a gapper. That'll score 1 run. And a slow collection of the ball. He's able to get an RBI double. That'll now make it 7-0. So that was Colquitt in center field, and I felt like he was relatively close to the ball by the time it finally came down. Don't know if that got caught in the grass turf out there or what, but it seemed like he collected it a little bit slow in that relay, coming in just a little bit slow. Could have potentially prevented that extra base. So Woods with one pickoff over there at second base, tries to repeat with that one off the glove and into the outfield. So interesting, it's almost as if Woods does a better job of holding the runner at second than he does at first. Kind of opting for more of his standard delivery instead of a slide step when a runner is on first. So full count now. Oh, not a full count. Who knows what the umpire is signaling? I thought he put his hand up with a fist, and that typically means a full count, but that was not the case. Fouls that one back. Let's see if we can get a more clear picture from our umpire on what that pitch count is. No idea. It does not show. All right. Ball in play. This one over to second base. Whew. And he almost legged that one out, flying down the line. But MacNSeitz comes up with that long-awaited third out. But not before Inside Edge puts a few more on the board, and now 7-0. Not looking good for our MacNSeitz guys, but we're going to have number 21, Paxton Crowther, followed by Hudson Woods, coming up next. All right, that's Paxton Crowther with the swing and a miss here early. He'll work with an 0-1 count. Inside Edge sticking with Copeland up there on the mound. And I think at this point they'll probably try to ride that horse all the way home, because I won't imagine he'll have any innings left going into the next game if MacNSeitz is not able to come out victorious. So I think we've had MacNSeitz had base runners in all innings except for one, and stranding runners in each of those situations. So Crowther doing a good job, being patient, waiting for a good one to hit. Copeland continuing to work from the windup. And I got to tell you, Copeland looking like he doesn't have quite as much pop on his arm. But that just could be my eyes deceiving me. Let's take a look here at the pocket radar. You'll see up there in the top right of your screen, just underneath the scoring overlay. This is now number 22, Hudson Woods. Oh, line drive right back to pitch, and they double off Crowther. So MacNSeitz with absolutely no luck right there. No fault to Crowther, because that was a screamer right back at pitch, and unable to get back in time, doubles them off. So 2 quick outs here, and that brings up number 27, Parker Simons. Nice hit right there, deep center field. And that is a home run. Oh my goodness, folks. Wow, oh wow. I tell you what, that was an actual no-doubter right there. I felt like it was clean and solid off the bat. That is dead center field. And just a slight incline after the fence right there, bounced right off the hill. And maybe that'll get just a little bit of life here for MacNSeitz. Here late in the fourth now. So inside edge, now taking a quick moment here to talk with the pitcher. Probably just seeing where his arm's feeling and making sure that he's okay to go. I can't imagine that he's not. And as I expected, just a short visit. Try to make sure that everybody stays calm and collected. And no reason they shouldn't, as they're still well in control here, 7-1. That'll bring up number 5, Mason Gellender. Well, what a beautiful hit there for Parker Simons. And I was just getting ready to say in that next in-between pitches that, he had a nice-looking footwork and made a really clean throw for an out from third. And that was good to see because, like, again, I had said earlier that on Friday night he had some arm pain. But such good footwork. And bangs that one out dead center. So Gellender now working on a 1-2 count. And a strike 3 call. I want to say that's 3, maybe 4 strikeouts for Copeland with MacNSeitz batters looking. And I tell you what, that's that one statistic that just kind of drives everybody crazy. It's one thing if you go down swinging, but you got to give yourself a chance. But not all bad news there, as MacNSeitz puts at least 1 on the board, and Copeland's shutout no longer. Well, I want to thank you guys for joining us here on our YouTube and Twitter. MacNSeitz MacNSeitz 14U. And again, if you guys are watching, please drop a comment after you're done watching, or if you're watching on a mobile device, maybe a little easier to leave a comment. You're streaming it up on a big screen, a little bit tougher to leave one. But drop me a like, and we appreciate that. I'll leave you guys with a little blue Danube waltz here. And so you'll see a pitching change up here, folks, for MacNSeitz. Pitching in relief right now, number 21, Paxton Crowther. Hudson Woods, looking sharp at times during this outing here earlier in the game, and then at other times just struggling to kind of find that zone. Ended up with a number of walks that I think led to the bulk of these runs by inside edge. So hasn't been like strong run production based off of hits, but inside edge, give credit where credit's due. They've put runners on base and they've had good hits bringing runners around, and so of course now the score 7-1 in their favor. Had a feeling that the inside edge team would come in here to ready to play today. Obviously, I'm sure they were disappointed last weekend as we were excited moving on into the championship game. Now both our teams not faring so well in pool play here earlier in this particular tournament and playing in the lower bracket. So love having a good lefty come up for us. Such a different look for the batter right now. Paxton Crowther, I've only had the opportunity to watch him pitch now just twice, but looked good in both those outings. And now works a 1-1 count on number 1, Ferris, for inside edge. Ooh. Fouls that one off. I couldn't see if that went off his leg or he doesn't look any worse for the wear on it. You'll see that sun is getting a little bit lower in the sky and kind of changing some of the view there. I'll have to see if I can adjust some of our images here in between innings. Oh, good looking curveball right there. Ferris does a good job getting the bat on it, earning himself another chance. Here in this age bracket where guys are just now starting to consistently see some off speeds with sliders and curveballs and whatnot, and not seeing it from the left side as often. And so for a right-handed batter, here's a high pop fly. Oh my gosh, completely misread out there in the outfield. Looked like he thought he had it. Makes a nice throw into second, and he's out. Boom, they get him. So what would have been a single, he tries to stretch into a double, and a quick throw in. They get him out at second. But as I was saying before, those curveballs and sliders, guys just now starting to see those consistently, being able to put the bat on the ball. But when you see it from a lefty as a right-handed batter, that ball actually comes into you. And so it's quite a bit of a different look. And guys really don't start to get a little bit more salty on that until they become, freshmen, sophomores in high school. So that was a heck of a hit by Ferris. He barreled that one up, and interesting. I think that might be McCowan out in center field. He pulled up like he had completely read it just right and was waiting for that ball to come on down, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere he turns around and beelines it for the fence. So that ball definitely carried a bit further than he had expected. Ooh. That's that beautiful curveball. Starting on the outside, looking like an outside pitch, curve right back over the outside edge of the plate for strike number 1. Oh, and this one here leaves the hand a little funny. And Hart's with a walk. That'll bring up number 11, Colser, for the inside edge. Certainly got to think that MacNSeitz has to hold inside edge here if they're going to have any kind of chance to come back here late in the game. Certainly they have that advantage with the home billing, and so they'll have that last at-bat should they require it. But if time were to expire and they were at the plate, the game would be called. Now, if MacNSeitz were at the plate and time expired, we get to at least finish our last outs. That's going to get over the head of the third baseman for a single. And inside edge now with 2 on. Runners on first and second. Nobody down. I apologize, 1 down. And ball 1, that is to number 0. Not sure if that's Reshart. Not sure how you'd pronounce that name, but one of the smallest strike zones here in the 14U age bracket. Looks like Reshart. I can see it on his shirt right now. It's a little bit tough to read the handwriting, but obviously size not really predicating whether or not a guy's a great ball player or not. I certainly joke from time to time. So one of the things that I think notably I've seen kind of missing from MacNSeitz here today is a little bit of the talking from the dugout. And that might be, to some extent, my position on the field here, a little bit farther away from them than I have been in some of the previous games. And not only that, but the ballparks that are not the ballparks, but the fields that are situated all around us. We've got a couple of youth games, looks like maybe 9 or even 8U. And some rowdy families over there. This one gets away from Crowther, and that will load the bases. So Crowther takes a little bit of a break and a stroll around the mound, kind of resets himself, and he'll continue working from the windup. This will be now the top of the lineup for inside edge. That's Haas. So do see the corners are playing in. You see the corners playing in, and the middle infielders playing at double play depth. Crowther blows that one right by him. Good looking curveball. This one's going to get through the end. Nope, shortstop picks that one up. And he makes an errant throw. And inside edge continues to improve on their lead. So a heck of a play out there at short, a diving catch. I thought that was no doubt getting through the infield. Did a good job diving, getting the glove. Quickly works his way up to a knee and makes an errant throw over to second. Throw was not going to be in time as the runner had a good jump on it. But second baseman unable to handle that one and goes out to right field. This one right back at short, and that gets through the infield. Oh, man, this one rolls all the way back to the fence, folks. And inside edge going to be working on a mercy rule in here. So first time I think I've ever seen that, but the catcher actually cleaning off the dish. Looks like inside edge does a courtesy runner for Barbee. And boys definitely not with the best body language, as you might imagine, based off the score out there on the field, but needing to pull it together. We'll say that we were a little lucky on that last play with the errant throw from short. We could have been in quite a bit of trouble, but the right fielder was able to collect that one up here pretty quickly. Nice pitch by Paxton right there. 2 in a row, now an 0-2 count. This is number 29, Schmidt, for inside edge. Misses outside. See if I can't adjust this here. That's a little better. Oh, wild pitch right there. Runners will advance. Failed to mention it earlier, but there is a defensive substitution out here behind the dish. That is Alex Kilman. Started with Isaac Dixon there. And check swing. And Schmidt goes down. Paxton Crowther elected not to do the Trevor Bauer sword. For you, those of you not familiar with that, Trevor Bauer, a Major League Baseball pitcher that now playing over in Japan. Anytime he gets a strikeout on a check swing, puts his hands up in the air on a little celebration and sheathes the imaginary sword in the scabbard. Pass ball, runner goes. And another run for inside edge as both runners advance. Almost scoring at will here. Boys not looking like they've just got enough grit to kind of get in and get some of these outs. You've got to give credit to inside edge. They've been able to score a number of runs in a couple of different innings here with 2 outs. So Paxton now electing to work from the windup. And a nice fastball right there. That one coming in 65 miles an hour. So certainly a contrast in speed from Woods, but I will say that Paxton, this ball in play right at shortstop, and once again, the errors continue. So that batter will reach on air. Another run for inside edge. Now a 10-1 contest. I honestly don't know what we were doing out there at shortstop. And certainly a well-hit ball. And I don't know if he's just not seen it off the bat or what the case may be, but tried to stab it with the glove. And you'll see that in so many different infield clinics and things like that. You have to really work through the ball. So you want to work around it and then through it, taking your momentum to where you're wanting to throw it. And anytime you're in a situation where you're having to stab it, either your feet were kind of out of place. Sometimes you get like a hard hit ball and you're just not able to move there quick enough. But you'll tend to see that a little bit more in the hot corner over there on third. And has a couple of different balls straight to shortstop where we saw that stab. Runner goes. No chance on a throw. So Paxton not really missing in small increments, either missing large or getting it right in there. See if you can't dial it in here a little bit more, and he hits the batter. Oh, I'm almost positive they hit the batter. That should be a dead ball, but instead it becomes a pass ball, and inside edge moves over to third. Fly ball, this one center field. And they track that one for out number 3. Once again, MacNSeitz just looking to stop the bleeding after a 2-out rally for inside edge, and they're putting up run after run after run. So the MacNSeitz boys over here meeting just outside the dugout and looking for some little last-ditch effort here to get something going, but they've got some heavy lifting to do in order to keep things going. Winner of this game will play Prodigy Shockers next. Game was scheduled for 6 o'clock, but due to some longer games prior to this one, our game start time was a little bit later than expected. Inside edge, as you might imagine. I don't know what the pitch count is here for Copeland, but pitched a fantastic game so far, giving up just 1 run, which was a home run by Parker Simon. So great to see a little light there for MacNSeitz, and just unable to come up with the hits when we've had the runners in position. And I think also notably, I think we have to really kind of talk about some of the errors. Errors obviously costing, but really what it is it's walks and runners getting on base, and then inside edge doing a great job putting the bat on the ball, getting ball in play, and then a number of different errors. But you also have to give some credit. They've done a great job of coming up with some big hits when they've needed those as well, oftentimes with 2 outs. So no longer a close matchup here, and MacNSeitz going to need a big inning in order to stay in this one. Leading off for us this inning is going to be number 79, Isaac Dixon. So notably, Copeland has had a couple of innings where he may have been a little bit shorter on the pitch count, maybe 10 or 15 pitch type inning. I think only 1 inning did he go up and or 3 up, 3 down. 1 inning he did go with 4 and was able to come up with that out. And a strike call there. Oh, this is no longer Isaac Dixon. My apologies, folks. I did say that there was a defensive change, and that is not Isaac Dixon. That is actually Alex Killman. And I for the life of me, these boys are giving me such a hard time telling me to use his nickname, and I, for the life of me, cannot remember it. It's something like Chalgro. Chalgro, something like that. Alex Chalgro Killman. So that's what we're going to go with. He's now working on a 1-2 count, but 4 pitches in. And takes ball high. Inside edge fans feeling like that one was in, but I got to tell you, that was well above the numbers. Oh, and gets him on a check swing. So Killman helps out Copeland on that one, as that one was high and well out of the zone. That brings up number 3, Bryson Spear. So obviously without a ton of run production, the latter part of our lineup not having a ton of ABs right now. And Spear takes one right in the butt. So he'll make his way down over there to first, albeit a little bit gimpy, and he just needs a quick minute to kind of walk that one off. Well, as he walks that one off, and everybody gives him just a little bit of extra time, in for Cooper McGowan is number 49, Henry Block. So Henry doing quite a bit of pitching for MacNSeitz, not having a ton of ABs and whatnot, but such a positive influence out there and a great teammate in the MacNSeitz dugout consistently. I tell you, he's the type of a team guy that no team is disappointed to have. And good to see him get an opportunity on an AB right here. Bryson Spear over there on first. Looks like he's all set and ready to go, so hold on a second here. It looks like maybe the umpire just called the expiration of time. So this will be the last opportunity for MacNSeitz to come back. They'll have to have 9 runs just in order to stay in it here. Oh, and Block chases one up about a mile high. Such a big, strong kid, and you got to see if he gets that bat on the ball. There's usually some pop on it. So Copeland has him down quickly here on an 0-2 count. So one down here, top of the 5th. Playing out at the Tiffany Springs Sports Complex. Inside edge versus MacNSeitz. And Block goes down on strike swinging. Back pick over there at first. And Spear back, no problem. Looks like the guys having a little fun out there on first. And that brings up number 10, Seabass Wingrove. So notably, Copeland definitely losing a little bit of steam. Kind of sitting more consistently now around 71. That first inning, he was definitely sitting right at 75. And just a bit higher. Starts off with a couple of balls on Wingrove. Wingrove got one in play on his last at-bat, got through the infield. Runner goes, and the hit and run was on. But Spear going to have to return over to first as Wingrove fouls that one back. So it looks like there's a little bit of a question about what the pitch count is. I have it as 2-1. Runner goes again. This ball down in the dirt, and the runner will make his way over to second uncontested. So Spear certainly with good legs over there. Interesting to try to get something going here. Now 2 down. Again, MacNSeitz going to have to come up with 9 runs here in order to keep playing tonight. Ball in play is a little chopper back over to second base. And that is out number 3. So that's going to do it for us here in the Midwest Global State Championship tourney. Inside Edge coming out victorious 10-1 over our MacNSeitz 14U. Appreciate you guys joining us, and once again, if you drop us a comment, we certainly appreciate it, or a like on our stream. We'll be back again, I believe, here next weekend or weekend after, cheering on our MacNSeitz boys and streaming live, typically in the Kansas City market, but we do have a couple of travel tournaments coming up. We're going to be heading to Omaha And then shortly after that, out in July, we'll be heading out into St. Louis. So be exciting to join us for those matchups out there, as we'll see some different teams that we have not seen in the past. But hopefully we can find some of that magic that we saw in that first tournament I was able to join you guys in. Certainly know the boys are capable of it, but not finding it here today. Once again, thanks for joining us, and that is going to do it for us here. I'm Robert Lee, and that is MacNSeitz 14U.